What's up, y'all? Hope y'all doing good. I'm Anthony K. Thomas, and welcome to Wrestling with Rumors. Welcome, everyone. First Wrestling with Rumors of 2026. Before I get into everything that is Wrestling with Rumors this week, as I say every week here on Wrestling with Rumors, every rumor that I am about to read to you is what it is. It is a rumor. We can speculate as wildly as we want, but until that rumor is proven fact, true, we see it happening in some way on TV or the wrestling promotion, or the pro wrestler themselves actually confirm the rumor, it remains what it is, a rumor. So with that, let's get into everything that is Wrestling with Rumors. Fightful Select notes that Tony Khan really likes Mick Foley, and there's at least a possibility he could go there after his departure from WWE. Now, this thing with Mick Foley, him leaving WWE, is purely based on political reasons, which is understandable. Doesn't want to be with a company doesn't want to be affiliated with a company right now that has some affiliation with Trump in some way, whether it's with Linda McMahon, or more recently with Triple H and how he's running a fitness program that he was assigned to run through Trump. I get it. I really do. I get it. I get not wanting to be affiliated with WWE because of some of the affiliation that's going on politically with the White House and Trump. Completely understandable. But not to get too political about it. Mick Foley possibly going to AEW would be the likely option for him, not to wrestle or anything, but to be a part of it in some way, whether on commentary, some way to help backstage or something, be a coach, producer. I don't know exactly what he would do in AEW, but I'm sure because Tony Khan really likes Mick Foley, I'm sure Tony Khan will think up something for Mick Foley to do if something can be arranged between Mick Foley and Tony Khan for Foley to join AEW. So we'll just see in the coming months if that plays out and how that could play out. WWE said Dominic Mysterio is out indefinitely with a shoulder injury. Bodyslam.net notes he's in good spirits. However, the company is simply being cautious with him. From what I understand, Dominic Mysterio should be out for a couple of weeks, but I will get into that rumor in just a little bit. They also say, Bodyslam.net also says Jacob Fatu is penciled in to return in WWE in early 2026, and the company wants him to have a breakthrough year. Absolutely. I feel that before he had to step away for medical reasons, for dental reasons, I feel that that breakthrough was just on the cusp of happening. So since now that he's taking care of that, he's good to go. I feel that this year, when he comes back, it'll be very early within the next couple of weeks, somewhere either before or by the Royal Rumble. Once Jacob Fatu comes back, it is off to the races, and I feel that he's already a mid-card player, but I feel that he is very close, at least on the way, once he gets back into WWE and gets back in the squared circle, that he is absolutely on a fast track, or at least a fast lane, to get into that main event spot, get into that WWE championship picture, or even switch him over to Raw and have him go after the World Heavyweight title eventually. But absolutely, Jacob Fatu in that main event spot just sounds right. So, in an update on Dominic Mysterio's injury, here's that update from that previous rumor I just read not too long ago. Dave Meltzer said on Wrestling Observer Radio that he's only expected to be out for 3 to 4 weeks, meaning he'll be back for the Royal Rumble event. I'm thinking that in the time that Dominic Mysterio is gone, he'll be back. When he does come back, it'll either be on the last episode of Raw before the Royal Rumble, or or when we get to the Royal Rumble and the countdown is happening, whatever number is up next, his music will hit and he'll come out, and that'll be his return. And that will be his return from injury at the Rumble. So either the Raw before the Rumble or the Royal Rumble itself is probably when we'll see Dominic Mysterio once again. But it also means that he won't have to, with the amount of time that he's gone, he won't need to relinquish his Intercontinental title or his AAA Mega Championship. So he's good. For Dominic Mysterio, that's all good because he doesn't have to relinquish those championships. According to Fightful Select, Chad Gable could be making his return to television soon. It's unclear exactly when, but it's soon, and he's been training at the Performance Center to get ready for it. We should be seeing Chad Gable very soon, if not at this first episode of Raw for the new year, the anniversary episode of Raw on Netflix. We'll probably see him there, or within the next 2 weeks, we should be seeing Chad Gable again. And a question that comes up, which is part of a rumor of the day that I read on Saturday, which is about Chad Gable when he returns, and him being the original El Grande Americano, and how that plays out with Ludwig Kaiser being the one who has been El Grande Americano since Chad Gable's injury. And I feel, and I read that WWE has no intention of moving Ludwig Kaiser away from the El Grande Americano character, because he's been doing flawlessly as that character, and he's one of the big stars in Mexico right now as El Grande Americano. I'm thinking that since Chad Gable is the original El Grande Americano, I'm thinking like a Spider-Man kind of thing where they point, where it's like a pointing, like I'm the real El Grande Americano, no, I'm the real El Grande Americano kind of thing, like that is how I could see it go. I did say that I could go, there's so many different paths and storylines they could take with it, but take away the El Grande Americano character for a moment, just to have Chad Gable back from injury. Shoulder's good, he's trained, he's good to go. It'd be good to see Chad Gable back on TV. And I also brought this up as well, that hopefully this means that the Creed brothers will also be returning back on television now that Chad Gable is back. Get that whole faction up and running again, because Chad Gable was really the glue, the leader of that faction. So when he was gone, that whole faction that whole team kind of had to slow down for a while. And now that he's coming back, hopefully this means that the Creed brothers, just the whole team in general, can get back to where they left off. So we'll just have to wait and see, but hopefully. Fightful Select was told that AEW always had a plan in place for Mercedes Moné's TBS Championship loss. After she dropped that belt to Willow Nightingale at New Year's Smash, Wrestling Observer Radio's Dave Meltzer said he thinks it's part of AEW's plan for Moné to eventually win the Women's World Championship. Now, here's what I think about it. I think what's going to happen is what has been happening is that Mercedes Moné has reached the top, right? She's touched on every promotion she stepped into. She won their women's championship. AEW TBS Women's Championship failed the first time on the AEW's Women's Championship, but I'll get back to that in a second. But won the TBS Women's Championship. And then from there, went to every promotion that she could go to and just started collecting belts. Started winning all these women championship belts. And in a sense, climbed to the top of the mountain of as a professional women's wrestler. And she did that. And now I feel that she is slowly starting to fall off that mountain as she's slowly starting to lose all these women championships. One by one by one. Recently losing the TBS Women's Championship. Recently losing that belt. And now with, I believe, 2 losses to the AEW Women's Championship. I see it going that if Mercedes Moné gets to a point where she loses all of her women championships, which is, I feel that's what they're doing now, falling completely off the mountain, we get to Revolution, which is AEW's first pay-per-view of 2026, which is in March. We get to Revolution, and Mercedes Moné could possibly have I believe a third opportunity for the women's championship. And depending on how Mercedes Moné will look, it will be like a woman who has fallen off her mountain, has lost everything, and going after the AEW Women's Championship for a third, possibly last time, is like a make or break it for her. And if she doesn't win it, she's done. It's over for her. She's got nothing left for her. So it's like, it gets to a point where it's a make or break for her. She either wins the AEW Women's Championship, or she has a complete breakdown, like a complete mental breakdown, and losing everything, including losing a third match for the AEW Women's Championship, which says that the only women's championship she can't win when the lights are on bright is the AEW Women's Championship, is possibly how that can go. But if she does have a match at Revolution, I believe third time is the charm for Mercedes Moné, and to finally win the one championship she hasn't been able to win the last 2 times. So I see it going that way. But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how the next 2 months look like, what the next 2 months look like in AEW for Mercedes Moné. And outside of AEW, from promotion to promotion to promotion, when she defends all those championships, how that looks for her. WrestleVotes Radio mentioned that Brock Lesnar, Jacob Fatu, LA Knight, Tiffany Stratton, and Chad Gable are all expected to be back in WWE in time for the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. Holidays over, injuries should be healed. They should be cleared. They should be good to go. Let's get to it. So I'm really excited for the Royal Rumble. It's one of my favorite pay-per-views of the year. It's the beginning to the road to WrestleMania. So I'm excited for the Royal Rumble, and to have these guys back in time for the Royal Rumble. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. There's really nothing for me to add to that except let's go. That's pretty much it. Votes claims there is a lot of talk within WWE about showcasing Liv Morgan as a centerpiece of the women's division at WrestleMania 42. I can see it. I can see her possibly having a main event spot at WrestleMania 42, whether it's night 1 or night 2, for the Women's World Championship. I feel that if Stephanie McCur remains Women's World Champion all the way to WrestleMania 42, I could see it being a match where it's Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Vaquer, or possibly another type of triple threat match for the Women's World Championship, where it's Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, and Stephanie Vaquer for that Women's World Championship, or a Fatal 4-Way with Io Sky in there. But I see it more of it's either going to be I could see it either being a triple threat or really a one-on-one between Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer. For WrestleMania 42, I could see that. I could see one of those two options. And before I go, I just want to touch on a few things real quick. First, the returns that happened at SmackDown. The first SmackDown of the year, this past Friday. It was now going from 2 hours back to a 3-hour show. We had some returns, some debuts, and one most likely so far. So first, we had the return of a Matt Cardona, formerly known as Zack Ryder, now going as Matt Cardona, using his real name in WWE on the main roster. It was great. He returned to have a match. He's back in WWE, full force as Matt Cardona. Let's go. I was excited to see it. Was happy to see him get his first win. I believe in like 6 years in WWE I think is what Michael Cole said on that episode of SmackDown. But just good to have him back. And all things I said during the Last Time Is Now tournament when Zack Ryder came back, Matt Cardona, and saying that he was back, and the Intercontinental Championship match and all this stuff that he was going to have. Then it turned out he wasn't actually back. I'm going to reinforce all of that I said in that episode of Wrestling with Rumors during the Last Time Is Now tournament when he came back in November of 2025. I'm putting it all back on there. I'm taking back the apology about saying he's now back. So everything I said prior, the matches he will have, first time matches, championship matches, hopefully getting a shot at that Intercontinental Championship once again. I know it's on Raw, but come on, getting him that U.S. title once again. All these matches he will have as Matt Cardona in WWE, full-time back in WWE. I'm ready for it. Let's go. So I'm ready for it. I'm excited for it. Let's see the kind of run we can have this time around. Let's go. He's always ready. I know that's for sure. Also, making his return during the Miz segment was Randy Orton. Randy Orton has taken some time off. He is rested. He's good to go. He RKO'd the Miz twice. He's good to go. There's really nothing. I think everything right now is just he's back, and all signs for him is the Royal Rumble and to get ready for that. I don't see any rivalry or like anything like that right now. He did backstage, was upfront to Cody Rhodes and says that he's coming for that WWE Championship. So a Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. We saw it a couple of months ago. Was it a couple of months ago? No, it wasn't. We saw it a year ago. Pardon me. We saw it a year ago in Saudi Arabia at Crown Jewel for that Crown Jewel Championship. We saw it then, and that was great. Or wait, no, that was King of the Ring. My bad. Was it King of the Ring? I'm getting my matches mixed up. I know we saw it recently. Was it King of the Ring? I need to look. I gotta look back. But we saw it not too. What we did see Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton not too long ago. Cody Rhodes pulling the trigger on that. My apologies on my confusion of it. Trying to think real quick, and now I can't stop thinking about it. So now I gotta look that up just to make sure I got it right. Look it up too. Let me know in the comments too. I I think I'm wrong. I can't. I feel that I know it was at Saudi Arabia, but I think it was. I don't think it was a crown jewel thing because the crown jewel thing is champion versus champion. So I think it was King of the Ring. I think it was the King of the Ring thing. Like it was part of the tournament or something like that. Yeah, I think so. Or no. It was just a championship match. I think it was just a championship match. Yeah, I think it was just a championship match. Yeah, I think it was just a championship match at Saudi Arabia. I know I'm repeating myself a lot on this. Now I just can't stop thinking about it. Anyway, Randy Orton's back. Said he's coming after the championship. I'm going to go back and look up later. Yeah. Anyway, and I'll probably leave something in the comments. I'll leave something in the comments about the match it was. But anyway, I'm staying on this too long. Let's keep going. Trick Williams finally makes his debut on SmackDown. He will have his in-ring debut next week. This coming week against Rey Fenix. That'll be his first match. I see his first rivalry being against Sami Zayn, where Sami Zayn looks at Trick Williams as someone standing in his way to going out to getting his shot at the WWE Championship. So I see that kind of being like a rivalry kind of thing right there between Sami Zayn and Trick Williams in the coming future, very near future. But for now, first match for Trick Williams, his first official match on the main roster is against Rey Fenix on SmackDown this coming week. I'm excited for it. Let's go, Trick Willie. Most likely, we saw Jordynne Grace backstage on SmackDown talking to Nick Aldis, and then having some interactions with some of the women backstage, which is making her choice a little bit easier of where she should go. So, with that, I feel that Jordynne Grace will most likely be on SmackDown very soon in the coming weeks. Absolutely. And Oba Femi gets a second week on SmackDown of a video package, and that is telling me two things about Oba Femi and how they're presenting and how they are looking at Oba Femi with this second week of a video package on SmackDown. And it'll probably be a third week. It'll probably be another week for Oba Femi on the video package on Raw as well. But as far as seeing it again this past week on SmackDown, this tells me a big push is coming for Oba Femi. And main event player, he is absolutely going to be a main event player in WWE. Doesn't matter if it's on Raw or SmackDown, he is going to be a main event player. Absolutely. Excuse me. I still stick to it that he is definitely the one he's definitely the one over Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker is good, right? He's good in the ring. He's good on the mic. He's going to be a world champion, no doubt. But as far as the charisma, the ooze, the presentation, everything that is Oba Femi speaks bigger, taller, main event player, the guy, not Braun Breaker, Oba Femi, 100%. And how he's getting packages, the way these video packages are coming in for him, I feel that they're doing more for Oba Femi than they did for Braun Breaker, which speaks volumes in how they view a Braun Breaker versus how they view a Oba Femi versus how they view a Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker has his vision and he has Paul Heyman. He needs all that, right? All of that's helping him. Oba Femi don't need any of that. Oba Femi is prime and ready to go in the main roster. And this coming Tuesday on New Year's Eve, he has his NXT Championship match against Leon Slater. I think this is a big if. But I think Leon Slater will be the guy from TNA who we've seen so much in WWE, who's been featured a lot in WWE, who will eventually, I believe, be a WWE superstar. He will be the guy from TNA who will defeat Obafemi and become the NXT champion. He will be that guy because Obafemi is so close for Obafemi to be in the main roster. And I feel that his time is almost here, and I feel that they want to have Obafemi have all his business done and handled in NXT before we get to Royal Rumble, because I feel that when Obafemi debuts on the main roster, it's going to be at the Royal Rumble. He's going to be able to showcase himself, the ruler of NXT, working towards being the ruler of WWE. And when the time is right, we will have in one corner the ring general, the career killer, Gunther, versus the ruler of now WWE, Obafemi, in a match. And it just can't be it could be a one-on-one match, and people will be like, holy shit, this is awesome. Absolutely. But a match at this caliber has to be a PLV match. WrestleMania, maybe WrestleMania 43. SummerSlam, maybe at SummerSlam this year. But it has to be, even Money in the Bank. It has to be a PLE main event type of match. It has to be absolute, and it's so much bigger if a championship is on the line. So that is a future right there. Gunther, Obafemi, hell yes. But to revisit a Gunther versus Cody Rhodes, either or just a one-on-one match with no interruption, just to see who would win that match, to finally get that ending that we should have got at Saturday night's main event before Drew McIntyre ruined that match, send that match into a DQ. We need closure for that match between Cody Rhodes and Obafemi. So that match, absolutely, I feel is coming very soon. We're going to run that match back again. And I feel that match at Saturday night's main event helped Obafemi so much to show everyone backstage, and even those who probably don't watch NXT, which is probably a very small number of people who don't watch NXT, to see who Obafemi is and what he can do and why he is the ruler. So, absolutely, I am ready. Absolutely, we're all ready for, and I believe he's ready for, a main event run. Whether it's on SmackDown or Raw, Obafemi fits. Either or. But I'm being biased when I say I want him on SmackDown. Absolutely. And one other thing I'll add, an Obafemi versus Roman Reigns. Let that settle for a while. Wow. I'll just say on that. And lastly, just to add to my feelings of 2026 with Obafemi and a lot of the NXT call-ups that are coming fairly soon, I see in 2026, I see an Ethan Page, a Ricky Starks, a Ricky Saints in the main roster in 2026. I see the roster in 2026 being very different, but different in a good way. I see a lot of good things in WWE. 2026 has always filled, just the year in general, but especially in professional wrestling, filled with so many highs and so many lows. But when you balance it out, the highs that happened, especially in professional wrestling throughout the year, are so much more than the low moments and the moments where things are slow for a while. So my hopes for WWE are very high, and my hopes for AEW as well are looking fairly good as well. They're slowly starting to build back up, and I feel that AEW is finding their lane, right? And that is great. That is, and what they're doing is working for them. So I just hope it helps AEW continue to grow, to be their own thing in their own lane. And WWE is the same thing. They're just going to continue to grow. There's going to be so much more. And I'm excited for all of it. The kid in me is just very excited for what 2026 looks like for WWE. The adult in me is very excited to see what things look like for AEW in 2026. There's no like booing, or there's no rooting for a company's failure. You want to see them succeed, because and their success means the options that we as fans have, whether it's WWE, AEW, TNA, and especially TNA in 2026, as they have this new television deal with AMC, and watching as they're in their lane, and they're growing, and they're making their comeback up. I feel good things, very good things for TNA are coming in their near future, starting with the debut of TNA Impact Thursday nights on Impact, which is 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern Time, which for us here is, for us here in the U.S., would be like which would be 6 to 8 for us here in the U.S., but, time slots and all that stuff. But TNA in 2026 as well, I look forward to their year as well, starting with AMC, their debut in AMC later this month. So good things for professional wrestling, good things for WWE in 2026, good things for AEW in 2026, good things for TNA in 2026. It's going to be a good year. It's going to be lots of highs and lows moments, and just for a professional wrestling, for us, our distraction from what goes on in the world, and there's a lot going on in the world right now. So with that distraction for us for a couple hours, it's going to be good. But that'll do it for this week's episode of Wrestling with Rumors. I'm Anthony K. Thomas. If you haven't yet, go ahead, hit that subscribe button so you can keep up when all new episodes of Wrestling with Rumors and my daily episode of Rumor of the Day drops. And go ahead and hit that thumbs up and leave a comment. And I will see all of you next week. But for now, I hope all of you have a good, fun, and safe week. If it's raining throughout the week where you are, stay dry, stay warm, and be safe if you're driving out there as well. I will see all of you next week on that next one. Peace, y'all.